reason for it all. Maybe.
So 6 months ago, I said I was gonna finish this in 3 days. It's been a long 3 days. I'm gonna be honest, some of the bad things in life happen to people, and unfortunately, right in the middle of building it to 4-wheel drive, I had a disgruntled employee sabotage a truck. Once we got the lift finished up after that employee left us, dude, it wouldn't start. We popped the hood, the distributor was loose, there was plugs out of the intake manifold missing, there was a lot of weird things going on there. I was super upset. I'd just spent all winter busting my butt, finishing the tank, trying to get this thing going, trying to get a business off its ground or off its feet, moving forward. And I'll be honest, man, it just took the wind out of my sail, and I pushed this thing out the door because if it's in here on the rack and everybody's working on it, the shop's not making money. We got to cover payroll. We got to keep the lights on. So I was super upset, and like that really, really upset me to the point where I was like, you know what, it's time to maybe take a few steps back, focus more on the business side of things, making sure things are moving forward. The tank was done, so I knew we could build some cool videos with it and some other things we had going on. So I knew we had ways to film, guide for the events between the tank and the KRX and everything, but it just really sucked, man. So we drug this bad boy in last week for 3 days, fixed the problems, got it running. It runs and drives down the road now. It has brakes. Does it start? Ah, yeah. Okay. So our Jegs Bandit fuel injection kit is just running smoothly. We still have a lot of simple things we got to finish up with the truck, but it's like a bajillion small things that's probably going to take another, realistically, 4 or 5 full days. You know, it's a little here, a little there, probably a month's time for me. We got to figure out what we want to do with the bumper. We're going to build something cool there. We still got to fix the front drive shaft, shorten it because we might have lengthened it too long. But other than that, like, dude, it's solid. Still got the old 1979 454 big block. That's gonna stay in there. We're gonna take the 205 or 208 and we'll find a 205 and do a doubler. It's running 410 gears. We haven't done nothing with the gearing. We haven't done anything with lockers. I'm just happy that it moves around the yard by itself now. That's a huge milestone because it just took so much from me. So my good buddy Jeremy Howe, he's the one that was like, dude, let's pull it in, let's get it fixed up, let's get it done. So super solid thank you to that guy. You know, he knew I was a little wounded with this thing. But realistically, besides the drive shaft and a few other small things, only have to worry about, we got a little bit of steering things we got to get figured out, and then we also have winches we got to figure out. We got onboard air for this thing to get figured out. We've got airbags for this thing to get figured out. We still have some stacked blocks at the moment. Yeah, I know it's not good and it's not right. So I got to order the right parts. Just haven't had the want or really. The guy took something from me, and I'm hoping to gain it back now. We still got to drop the front suspension, probably what, 1.5 inches, just to make it happy. And other than that, like, dude, this thing should be ready to rip and roar. For a while, it's gonna stay 410s. We'll probably lock the rear end, leave the front unlocked for now until we can do full hydro or hydro assist or whatever in the world we got going on. Randy got us a 24 volt. What is it, ARB? We're gonna plumb that bad boy to this tank that was left in here for some onboard air. We're getting rid of this dinosaur PTO winch. In fact, there's no PTO now. There's no nothing. It's just hanging up there by one tooth and a hope and a dream. We'll switch it out to an electric winch. We got winch. Yeah, we're gonna do all kinds of crazy stuff. But we're just super happy that it's where it's at now. I think if I spend a couple afternoons with it, I'm gonna start daily driving this thing. Just to work out any bugs it might have. I mean, shoot, I don't even have all the lug nuts on it yet. Had them, where they went, you know, shop gremlin, who knows. Owen, for sure. So, anybody who's ever brought their kids to work understand that when you're pulling something apart, it may or may not magically disappear. That wandering wrench that you set down, that you know you sat somewhere, 9 times out of 10 is probably in your kid's pocket.
10 millimeter?
Yeah. So.
This one doesn't have any 10 millimeters, right?
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna do a headache rack. There's all kinds of. We've had some great people get a hold of us, and I'll be 100% honest. When I first started putting this thing together, I knew no one better to call than Rory. Rory Irish is the one that was like, yeah, dude, this is what Towmater's got. This is how it's working. This thing's gonna do great. He gave me a lot of advice because I didn't know. I knew a direction I was gonna go, you know. So, but it was super helpful, you know, talking to him about where to strengthen the frame, so we don't have any issues down the road. So, but we don't have. We have the crazy stuff that Moab has, but we don't have the need. It's not Pritchett. We are not stuck going from A to B, going up the obstacles. Where we're at is more like Sand Hollow. We can loop up around. We don't have to do the nasty stuff. Granted, it's still got to get in and out, but it doesn't have to necessarily go do the absolute craziest thing. We only have one trail here that is a start and a finish. It's called the Red Mountain. Some people call it a horrible trail. I call it a rough road. So worst case scenario is this thing has got to go either up Commando Corner, come down Commando Corner, go up the waterfall, come down the waterfall. And I think this old girl will do this thing with the limited slip and where it's setting now on 410s. So I don't see us going too crazy. But I known I was gonna have all these problems with employees. I had to put a Cummins in it because I had a common rail just holding itself off ground. But I was like, no, man, it'd be way cooler to keep the boat anchor in there, man. So, you know, like, oh yeah, $2,000 on fuel injection later and fuel pump. So is it cool to fuel inject an old 454? Yeah, it's already there. Is it worth it? Oh, I don't know. We're gonna see. Rory's running 454 and Towmater, you know, and it's just a, I think he's running an Atomic. It's MSD. I could be wrong, might be a Holly, I don't know. But he's running the fuel injection big block. And I know he's went through a handful of motors, whys or whats, I don't know. But, you know, 465 transmission, 205 PKs at the moment. Everything underneath's new, the clutch, the flywheel, just, I mean, everything that we pulled apart, we replaced just because we were there. So next steps, and of course we get it running and driving right after all the parades and all the events. Anyway.